The fuck? So he dropped me home. So that night I was in my head. I was like, oh, I'm through. So every fucking time we get into something, I'm through. So he called me in the morning and he was like, oh, you want to talk about the situation that happened last night? So I said, go ahead, talk. So he told me, he was like, well, you made it seem because I take you out on dates and I did this, that, and the third, like it's not good enough. So you asked me for that, and I don't like for people to tell me what to do with my money, this, that, and the third. He is missing the whole fucking point, right? He's missing all. So I let him talk. I said, here's my issue with you. I said, I asked you for $25 for my feet as a small favor. You are not obligated to give me $25. My problem is you compared me to some other girl that you claim was using you. That is what my problem is. My problem is, even there's been twice or three times where this man has offered to show me his bank account. And I've had to tell him not to do that. Do not offer to show me your bank account. I do not like that. I don't like men who take pictures with a whole bunch of money. I don't like that. I don't like it. If you got it, trust me, I'll be able to tell if you got it or not. So I said, you've offered me to show, you offered me to see your bank account. You showed me how much it costs to rent the M3. You sit here and you spend all this money on dates and this is that and the third. And then you have the nerve to say that I don't appreciate that. I do appreciate that. But those are things that you wanted to do. And those are things that you do. So anytime we do something, it's because Dark and Lovely wants to do it. But I've come to the conclusion that if it's something that I have an interest in or will only benefit me, or it appears that it would only benefit me, i.e. me doing my feet, then it can't be done. Because it does not line his pockets. It does not make him look good. It does not give him a nut. So therefore, it cannot be important. And that is, to me, that's fucking selfish. Why would I even want to be a girl? Why would I want to be a girl if everything we do has to evolve around your fucking pleasure? So I explained that to him, right? To this day, he hasn't given me the money to get my feet done. You think I'll give a fuck? I can do my own feet. I can physically do my own feet, or I can go get my feet done. That's not a fucking problem. I was just bullshitting, wasting time. I didn't want to fucking do my feet. The fuck, school had just started. Now I wanted to buy my son some stuff for school, and my son is a big boy, and I just didn't feel the need to take money and spend it on myself. So that's really why I asked him to do my feet. So what happened? So we got past that, but I took a mental note. I ain't saying nothing. So the next day comes and I was like, okay, so are you going to give me the money to do my feet? He was like, oh, you still on that? You still want that? I was like, yeah. So he's like, oh, next time I see you. He never gave me the money, right? So now at this point, every time we would talk, every discussion or disagreement we got into, he would compare the situation to work. So he'd be like, oh, you talking to me like that? If you was in court, you wouldn't talk like that. He was like, oh, everybody got to listen to somebody. When I'm at work and I do this at work, and when I was in the military. And it was just like, how do you make this situation about anything else besides what it's about? I'm not a fucking inmate. I'm not an inmate. He has this way of, it's this, I'm superior. How many minutes is this? 40 minutes. I'm superior to you. This is what I have. This is what I do. Why is there any friction? You don't have the right to disagree with me type of fucking attitude. And he may not even, he's not aware that he comes off like that. But I've told him. And he claims, he denies, and he says, oh no, that, but you could be like, Dark and Lovely, let's go to the store or whatever. And say there's two people arguing, right? And he'll agree with one person he heard arguing, and you'll agree with the other person you heard arguing. Y'all both heard arguing. And the first thing he does is, well, in jail, this, that, and the third, or in court, or the law. And you'd be like, they were arguing over what sneakers were better. That had nothing to fucking do with jail. Like, why is everything he talks about has to do with what he has done, what he does at work, what he has accomplished? Everything. If I bring up something that is of interest to me, he will dad be like, yeah, well, at work, this is that and the third. So now, I don't even fucking talk like that. I just let this nigga talk. I be looking around and, like, what the fuck? I don't know what to say. Because I can't have a conversation with you. Because if you say something that I don't necessarily agree with, and not in an argumentative way, like you having a regular, he's talking about something regular, and I say, well, I don't see it like that. I think that it should be this or this. He will snap. He has a bad temper. He even told me, he was like, this girl that I used to talk to, she said that I was immature, and she's running around telling people that I'm immature and that I have a bad temper and I'm childish and blah blah blah. So I'm quiet because where old girl at? Me and her could be best friends because this bitch is hitting the fucking nail right on her fucking head. Like, I don't know what else to say. So I don't say that. So I'm quiet because I don't want to argue, because everything I fucking say, it's an argument. Because if it's not what he believes, or you don't agree with him, or you don't think he's right, it's the end of the fucking world, bitch. So I don't say nothing. So he goes to say, oh, well, what do you think about that? So now I'm pussy at this point. So I'm like, oh, fuck. I said, well, you blocked on social media, right? He was like, yeah. So I was like, don't pay that no mind. I said, that's what people do when they want you back. You know, they talk. That's the only thing I could say. Because I'm not going to sit here and be like, she's right. I'm not going to, I've done that enough. I've tried to explain to you what the problem is, why you having friction with so much people. This man will complain about his co-workers. He'll complain about the inmates. He'll complain about his mother, his father. It's everybody but him. Let me tell y'all some other small things, right? So you can get an idea. What time is it? Because I'm over here running my mouth, man. 12:47. I got to go to therapy. So when he came to my house, you use the bathroom. He'll put the water on. Now, the pressure in my bathroom, the pressure in my sink, is very strong. So he'll put the water on, wash his hands and do whatever, turn the water off. So you go in the bathroom, the floor is wet. Now, a person who functions at the most average level would know to mop the floor. There's a mop right there. You don't see the water on the floor? So I go in the bathroom, I say, oh, could you mop the floor? He was like, oh, I hope you don't got OCD like my mother, and this is that and third. I was like, no, but you got mad water on the floor. Like, what the fuck? He mops the floor. I'm in the kitchen, I'm cooking something. He in the shower. What do I hear while this nigga's in the shower, y'all? Water splashing everywhere. What do you think this motherfucker was doing? This nigga was taking a shower with the curtain open. Man, I'm about to end this fucking video here, y'all. I can't take this shit. This big ass motherfucker is taking a shower with the curtain open. Something is off. Something is wrong. You telling me your parents complain about you? I can see why. I went in the bathroom. I'm calm as fuck. I'm calm. I said, could you close the shower curtain? My eyes twitching, bitch, because I told y'all in my Q&A. Spaced out people or people who just like so out of... that shit is like top fucking 10 pet peeve. Use your brain. So he closes the curtain. I really hope that y'all feel my deep frustration. I hope it does not seem that I'm nitpicking. Because there's small things that show a bigger picture. Okay? Another example. He comes in here one day. He had the shits. Old boy couldn't hold it. He running up the fucking stairs. He used the bathroom. When you sit on my toilet, the garbage is right in front of you. Legit right in front of you. Because it's probably 2-3 feet away from you. He uses the last bit of toilet tissue on that roll. You know where he put the brown little carton thing at? On the sink next to him. Not in the trash right there. No, that wouldn't make sense. It would not make sense for him to throw that in the garbage that's right there. You know? No. I don't say anything. But in my head, I say to myself, I can see why your parents are always on your fucking back. Because every time he come in here, he's telling me about how his mother complains about this and how his father complains about that. Yeah, you fucking dodo. You don't do the most basic of fucking things that you're supposed to do in a household. So the other day he sat here. I'm all over the place with this fucking story, but I just need y'all to understand. Like, a narcissistic person, like somebody he is so full of himself that it's everybody else and it's not him. He sits here the other day and he's like, if me and you live together, I hope you don't be nagging. I said, why would I nag? I said, if you're doing what you're supposed to do around the house. He was like, no, not even. Like, no, not even. There's no not even. I'm not your mother. And even your mother's not supposed to be picking up after your big stupid ass. Stop being such a fucking slob. If it looks good on the outside, he's interested in it. If it's putting money in his pocket, he's interested in it. If it's willing to agree with him, he's interested in it. The minute that he has to be corrected, it's a fucking problem. He come in here with these holy socks. He came in here with them holy ass fucking drawers. So this, to me, screams a person who will do number 10, but won't do number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, you are missing something there, homeboy. So your foundation is going to fucking crumble. Because you're skipping all of that and you think because you drive a nice car and you got this good job that's supposed to hold you up in life. No, it's not. It's not. The fuck? So, those were 2 arguments I told you about. One that day and the other day, and what else? Damn, I'm trying to think. I'm trying not to miss anything before I tell you the real juice. Oh, so here's another thing. So I had, when I first met Dark and Lovely, I don't know if I told y'all this already, but when I first met Dark and Lovely, I would tell him about my bags and what I want to do and the goal for my business, you know, whatever. So he would kind of like never say anything in regards to that. He'd always be like, well, are you looking for a job? Well, the FDNY is hiring. You don't want to be a cop? You don't want to be a cop? Every time I fucking say. So I finally had to be like, what's your problem? He was like, what do you mean? I'm just making sure. You're not making sure of anything. Your standard of living or your standard of happiness or success seems to stop at a city job. And no offense to nobody, but that is the fucking problem with black people. They get them a job with benefits and they think that's the end all be all and that's it with life. And that's why a lot of us are struggling, because we're so fucking conditioned to believe that that is the level of success that we can reach. It can't be that you can run a business. It can't be that you could be a fucking astronaut. It can't be that you could be a politician. It can't be that you could be a scientist, a doctor. It stops with a city job. So I was getting annoyed because I'm like, why you keep offering me these fucking city jobs that anybody could fucking get as long as they don't got too crazy of a background and pass a fucking drug test and a tape test, nigga. The fuck? So, now let's make something clear. I'm applying for jobs. I am applying for city jobs. I've applied for other little jobs. That's not a problem. If you could pay your bills and it makes you happy, or you have no problem, whatever, do you. But if you have somebody who's saying to you, yeah, well, I have a licensed business and I'm trying to get it off the ground and this is where I want it to be, you listen, and if you know a little something about it, you give your advice. Or if not, you be like, well, I hope you, I wish you luck, and let me know if I could be of any support in any situation. But little stuff like that. But that's not what he would do. So finally, I had to tell him. I said, it seems as though when I talk about my interest or my business, you don't care. You always offer me to apply for this or apply for that. He was like, yeah, because this is that. There's no yeah because this is that and the third. I said it's insulting. I'm not dumb. I know about NYC.gov, nigga. I know about DCAS, Metro North, Amtrak, MTA, sanitation, the post office. I know about all that stupid shit. And not stupid as in worthless, but those are fucking basic things that a normal person fucking knows about in New York City. Like, you take those tests, you wait for them to call you, wait a year or 2 years or whatever. The fuck? It's not that hard of a fucking thing to understand or do. So, anyway. So I had checked him on that one time. So, to this day, he don't even ask about my business. And I don't bring it up. Because clearly you don't believe in it. So, and that's fine. You don't have to. Besides the fact that Dark and Lovely is self-absorbed, he's very condescending. He makes jokes and he always says stuff about the Bronx in the area that I live in, how it's so ghetto, and the Bronx has the highest crime rate, and a lot of the inmates from the jail is from the Bronx. Some of the most ruthless people from the Bronx, and the drug addicts over here, and this is down the third. And I get it. Y'all have heard me say that I want to move out of this area, but the fact is, people who live in this area don't see it as bad as other people see it, because this is what we're used to seeing. So if you come from the suburbs and you come over here and you see this, you're going to be like, yo, what the? But to me, it's like, it's just a crackhead on the fucking corner. Now, that's not a good thing, but if you're not touching me or you're not trying to physically harm me or anything like that, bitch, I'm minding my business, you minding your business, I go about my motherfucking business. That's it. So he has this way of talking as if the Bronx is so, like, but mind you, your job is in the Bronx jurisdiction. You travel for this Bronx pussy. You talk all this shit about the Bronx, but nigga, you surely are here a lot. So I'm saying all that to say this. He will say certain things and he will make it like I don't have the right to have an opinion on it because I'm from the Bronx, or because I live in this area, or I don't know anything about anything besides the ghetto. You know what I'm saying? So I would tell him something, and it's 1 o'clock. I got a half an hour. I would tell him something, and he always questions. Not even questions. He always says, no, that's not right. Like, oh, like, you don't know. And I you know how many times I have to be like, why do you always do that to me? Like, it's like I can't know nothing. I don't know anything. I got my fucking degree. And that really don't mean shit, but you don't. That does mean something. The fuck? So he, like, I would say something to him, and he'd be like, oh no, I gotta look that up. That can't be true. Oh no. It don't work like that. This is that and the third. So, I'm gonna give you a prime example. Something so small. If you are across the street, you can see directly in my window, right? So this nigga, one day he ain't got no clothes on, and he right there by the bathroom door. But if you stand across the street and you really paying attention and you looking, you could have saw him. So I say to him, I say, yo, you gotta cover yourself. You can't be like that. Like, people can see in my window. He say, no, they can't. No, they can't. I said, yes, they can. He was like, oh, no, trust me, they can't. I said, how do you know that they can't? You just argue with me just to argue with me, because for some reason or another, I'm just a ghetto bitch from the Bronx, and I don't know anything. For some reason, that's what you got in your fucking head, right? So I said to him, how do you know that? He was like, no, trust me, you can't. I said, my friends tell me all the time, or my friend has told me that you could see directly in my house when she was outside. When I'm outside and my curtain is open, I can look up and see directly in my fucking house. So he like, oh, why you always gotta argue with me about something? Why can't I know anything? Very condescending. Very, I know everything. I'm superior. I live in Queens. I live in the suburbs. I didn't struggle like that. Oh, this is that and third. And I did the academy. And it just depletes energy out of my fucking brain. So, let's get to the fucking day that I decided I had enough. So, he comes here. And he had called me he tells me that he's on his way, that he's going to come over, right? So I say, okay. So y'all know one of my favorite shows. Well, y'all don't know. Well, whatever. One of my favorite shows is Living Single. So Living Single is on. So I'm in the kitchen cooking, and Living Single is on. So I come. Hold on. I come in the living room, and you know when you cooking and watching TV. So I'm watching Living Single. You know, I got the knife in my hand. I was chopping onions and shit. So I go back in the kitchen. Somebody smoking weed. So I go back in the kitchen, and I got 6 missed calls from him. Right? So I call him back. He's like, yo, I'm outside of your door. I'm calling you. Why you not picking up? This, that, and the third. So he turned, as always, nasty fucking attitude. This nasty fucking temper he got. So I told myself, so we had gotten into enough arguments where I told myself, I'm not going to let this man easily get under my skin so easily. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, calm down. It's not that big of a deal. I was like, I didn't hear my phone. I left it in the kitchen. So I'm like, oh, where you at? He's like, I'm outside of the door. So I'm like, I hang up the phone. So I open the door. I'm all smiling. I'm happy to see my nigga, right? I'm like, oh, what's up? You know? He was like, yo, why you wasn't picking up the phone? I'm calling. I'm standing there. People looking at me. I'm not from around here. This, that, and the third. That's what I left out of the first story. Should I tell you now? Okay, I'm going to tell you now before I forget. So, you know when I say he had the holy boxers on or whatever. So, when he was laying on the bed, that's why I wasn't in the room yet. Because, I went around the house, turned off the lights, and I put the chain on the door. So, when I put the chain on the door, he was laying on the bed. He jumped up. So, I'm like, so I said in my head, I said, does this nigga think I'm trying to set him up? Do you think that I'm trying to set you up? What the fuck is really up with this nigga? So he's scary. So fast forward to this. So I'm like, calm down. I didn't hear my phone. And I was like, why didn't you just knock on the door? So he was like, oh, I didn't know which door was. You've been here 5-6 times already at this point. You didn't know what door was? But you were standing right in front of the door when I opened it? Somebody come tattoo stupid on my fucking head. So, I was like, calm down. I was like, I did not hear my phone. And I was like, you standing right in front of the door. Why didn't you open it? So, here he go. What did I tell you? You got to turn up for him to turn down. He go, oh, why you getting an attitude? This is that. I said, because you coming in here all turned up. I told you I didn't hear my phone. Relax. That's not the end of it. He don't stop there. He sit on the couch. He got his face all scrunched up. Yeah, because people was looking at me, and I'm not from around here. I said, so what you so scary for? Nobody gonna do nothing to you? The nigga look like a cop. He looks like a cop. You know how cops walk with their head all... That's how he look. Nobody fucking with you. Nobody care. This is not the projects. So he sat on the couch. He was like, yeah, because I was calling. I said, you could have not. So at this point, I'm aggravated. I said, why are you still talking about it? I said, you could have knocked on the door. So he don't really have no response for that besides, oh, I forgot which door. Stop fucking lying, stupid. You could have knocked on the fucking door. So I said, you so smart, you dumb. So he like, what? You so smart that you're fucking dumb. You know everything about everything, but how to do the fucking basic things. So I said, leave it alone and calm down. I said, why are you always so turned up? So I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Because he still got his face, so I don't want to argue. I go up to him, I'm kissing him on his face and his neck, and I'm trying to have a good night. We're going to have a good night today, whether you like it or not. So we leave it alone. So we almost get into it again because I have fly traps in my house because I live on the first floor and I didn't put screens in the other windows, but people like to piss in the like downstairs. People like to piss when you coming into the door, whatever. So it'll be like flies and stuff right there. So if I have my windows open, they'll come in my house. So I forgot what he asked me. He gonna say, "Oh, does the fly traps work?" This is the stupid questions he asked. Mind you, there's flies on the fucking trap, so clearly it's working. But whatever, right? We're not dealing with a normal person here. So I said, "Yeah, they work or whatever." I was like, "Yeah." So I started to explain to him why they, so like in the summertime, that's when I have flies, and in the wintertime I don't really have that problem. So, he says. He was like, so he started telling me about the big flies. I told you everything connects with the military or whatever. So he's like, oh, when I was in the military, when I was in boot camp, there was a big ass bot fly. This is down the third, and I was like, oh, I think those are the ones that I forgot some summers ago I was seeing them too. So he was like, no, those are not over here. They only in this part of the world, and this is down the third. So I'm like, what did I tell you? For some reason, if I know something, it's not that I know it. I'm wrong. So I say, I know what I saw. I said, I saw those big flies. So he's like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. I said, well, I saw a big fly. I don't know what else to tell you. So he's like, oh, why are you getting mad? I said, I'm not getting mad. I was like, you do that to me all the time. I know what I saw. I said, I used to see those big flies in the hallway and downstairs. So he was like, oh, I'm going to look it up. What he do? He pull out Google. He start looking up types of flies and where they originate from and blah, blah, blah. So I said, okay. So he's like, oh, I'm going to leave it alone because it ain't going to go no. I said, okay, because I don't know what to tell you, my nigga. I've been living here since I got this apartment when I was 17, motherfucker. I've been seeing some shit. I know what a house fly is. I know what a fucking big ass stupid fucking fly is. Them shits is scary. Them shits hit you. You feel like a little pellet hit you. Like, them shits is big. And I know what I saw. So, that's the first thing. But he is so worked up from the missed calls that he's still trying to find a way to... I said, okay. So, I'm taking mental notes. So, he sit down. He was like, oh, let me ask you something. So, I'm prepared. This is where the fucking tea come out, bitch. He said, let me ask you something. So I said, yeah. He like, if I was to get deployed, would you wait for me? I said, no. So now, he's hyped. He set up, you want to wait for me? You not loyal. You know what the fuck it is when we out in the desert and we need moral support and blah, 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 and blah. He going off. So I'm calm. I'm like, well, I go to speak. He cut me off. Fiance or not my husband. What was that? I'm not going to wait for somebody who's not my fiance or not my husband. I'm just not going to do it. I said, a lot of you guys, which I want, is husband treatment, and you're not even husband material. I said, I'm not waiting for you. So before I could even finish what I was really going to say, he cut me off. He getting all turned up. His voice is getting loud. So between him coming through the door and acting like that because he missed some because I missed some fucking phone calls, him saying this about you don't know this about this and you ain't see this, and other arguments, I was like done. So I'm getting loud. I'm talking with my hands. And once I start talking with my hands will get closer to your face. And I'll go from this to I will dead up, straight up, cold clock you. I don't give a fuck. And I try not to get to that point. Like when I'm arguing, even when I'm arguing with friends or something like that, I will legit remain calm. Because in my head, it's like, this is a friend. It's not even worth getting that hype over. You know what I'm saying? But him, he keep going. He cut me off. So now he done got me to the point where I was calm and I was trying to talk and have a discussion whether we agree on it or not. To him, he not. I'm all of a sudden I'm not loyal. I'm ghetto. I'm acting ghetto. According to him, that's what he meant. I'm not civilized. Why I'm screaming and this is that and the third. Once again, he's one of them people that will poke you. And then when you react, it's like, oh my God. So I'm talking to him. And at this point, he keep calling me on my name. Oh, you acting ghetto. You uncivilized. You not loyal. Oh, if you trying to be my wife, you need to prove to me. Well, who the fuck are you? So I'm talking to him. So I had told Dark and Lovely about the situation with when my ex tried to kill me, right? That's another thing I forgot to mention. This video gonna be too fucking long, but I had told him, he's one of the people that if you tell him something about yourself, something personal, something traumatic that happened, he throws it in your face, right? So I'm gonna leave that like that. But I had told him about that like a minute ago. So we get into this argument and hold on. So we get into this argument. I'm getting hyped at this point because this motherfucker done pushed one too many fucking buttons, one too many motherfucking times. And here he go. Oh, is this what you did to that? Is this how you was acting that night that your ex-boyfriend did that to you? He says it one time. I don't say nothing, but my voice gets louder. He says it again. I don't say nothing. So I guess he thought I didn't hear him, or I wasn't reacting, or I didn't say anything. I didn't give him a reply to that. So he decides to say it a third time. He says, is this what you did that night that guy that owns that auto body shop, I don't know if he said tried to kill you or beat you up or he did that to you or something like that. I don't know why he said that. Bitch, I got up. I stood over him and I pounded away at this fucking man. That's it. You know, you're not supposed to put your hands on nobody. You're not. I know that. But I had enough. So he on the couch doing this, and I'm trying to. But I caught myself. First off, I wasn't hitting him as hard as I wanted to because I'm crying at this point because I'm fucking mad. So I really just wanted him to leave. So I'm hitting him, but I'm just so like, I can't believe this motherfucker said that. So I'm on the couch in the back of his head. He like, yo, chill. Why you snapping on me? What did I say? It's like, oh, I'm going to poke you. I'm going to try to get you all riled up. But when you act like that, it's like, oh, what happened? No, nigga. So I was like, get out. Get the fuck out of my house. So he gets up. We in the hallway. I said, why did you say that to me? Why did you say that to me? I said, you think I deserve that? You think that I deserve that? So he was like, oh, no, that's not what I meant. He's like, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. I said, so why do you say that to me? Why do you say that to me? He's like, no, I'm just saying that because there's no because. Why would you even fucking say that to somebody? Somebody tells you that they were choked out, they blacked out, that somebody hit them. Like all the shit that happened to me that night is somebody, if I tell you that and you bring that up during an argument, what you're basically trying to say is that I deserve that. There's no way around it, my nigga. So I said, why did you say that to me? So I'm fucking black and I'm screaming, I'm crying at this point. So I'm getting really mad at this point. So he talking and I poked him in the eye, all types of shit. I said, get out. So I had papers from me and him got into that car accident. So I had the papers in it. And he had put the papers in like this big Ziploc bag. So they was in my room. So he had the papers in his hand. I fucking snatched the papers. So I'm so mad that I didn't even think about the fact that the papers in the Ziploc bag. I'm trying to fucking rip this shit. So I take the fucking Ziploc bag or papers or whatever, and I open the door and I throw them shits out in the fucking hallway. And I was like, get the fuck out. So I'm spazzing. He was like, I'm never coming back here again. I'm never coming back here again. His foot ain't even all the way out the door, bitch. I tried to break his fucking ankle in that door. I closed that door so fucking hard. I was so upset. I have not felt the urge to jump on somebody, and I can't remember how long. Like, I will get mad and I will get irritated or frustrated, but I always have enough sense to know not to put my hands on somebody. But he said that shit 3 fucking times, y'all. And that was it. I skipped a part. I'm always skipping parts. This is how I know how people end up on Snap. Because he said what he said, but I was so, like, out of it when he said it. I was, like, snapping that I was eating when we was actually having an argument. So, what I had in the bowl, I went in the kitchen and I threw the bowl in the sink. And when I threw the bowl in the sink, I remember seeing blurry and then my eyes focusing on the fucking knife. Like, I was gonna fucking poke this nigga the fuck up. And that's actually when I was like, oh, he gotta go. Because I'm about to catch a case. I'm going to kill him. So, when I realized that I almost just lost it, I told him he had to go. And that's when I was just like, I deserve that? I deserve that? Like, I deserve to be killed? Like, a man should have killed me? Like, that's what I was saying. Because I could not believe that he fucking said that. Like, so, he's like, oh, you're never going to hear from me again. This is down the third. Matter of fact, when I was in the room and I was crying, he was fake patting me. He was like, I didn't mean like that. Stop screaming. And he was just like, stop screaming, Annie, stop screaming. Because it was, I forgot what time it was that night, but I was blacking. He's like, stop screaming. Oh my God, like, they're going to call the police. Nigga, he's so worried about his career and having a record and having charges filed against him. That's what he's worried about. I'm not fucking stupid. So, tell him, get the fuck out. He texts me when he get home. Yo, what was that about? Why you... I can't make this shit up if I tried, y'all. He like, what was that about? Why you snap like that? Help me to understand you or something like that. That's what he said. Hold on. 122. So, I didn't say nothing. I didn't say not one word. A day goes past, we don't talk to each other. After he texted me that, I didn't reply. And another day goes past. And I was like, I texted him, I was like, I feel the need to say this to you. I said, you have the nerve to text me. Why did I snap like that? I said, you said what you said to get a reaction out of me. I said, and for you to go home and text me as if I snapped for no reason. I said, you talk to me in a very condescending way. You feel as though because you come from a 2-parent home and you live in Queens in the suburbs and you got this job that you're so much better. I said, you talk to me like as if you're superior. I said, you have a nasty fucking ego. I forgot what else I said to him. And I was like, long story short, I was just like, good luck with everything. I said, if we need to be in contact with each other because of the car accident, you could reach out, but I'm good. So he doesn't reply. He calls me when he gets off of work. He was like, oh, I'm driving, so I couldn't text you. He was like, so he starts with the whole jail shit. You snapped like that, and I could press charges, and you could have ended up in jail, and you gotta have more control, and you. Nothing that he did, y'all. And he was like, and maybe I was, this is what he says, and maybe I was wrong for saying what I said. So I feel myself about to go off again. I don't say nothing, I'll let him talk. I said, maybe you were wrong. Maybe you were wrong? I said, you don't know what the fuck I went through with that situation. You don't even know if I'm fully healed from it. You don't know what triggers it. You don't know if I had nightmares or have nightmares because of it. You don't know my anxiety level because of it. You don't know how it affects my future relationships. You don't know anything. You don't know how traumatic that experience was. So for you to bring it up and then try to minimize it as if you didn't mean it like that or it wasn't that big of a deal, it's fucked up. And I said, you need to learn to take responsibility. Point blank, period. I said, you have a very nasty way of fucking speaking to people. I said, you said it 3 times, and it wasn't until the 3rd time where I fucking reacted. And I said, now you're going to sit here and try to pretend as if you didn't say it to get a reaction out of me. When, in fact, you did. You just wasn't prepared for the reaction that you really got. You must have thought that I was going to sit there and be doing all that gapping, motherfucker. I'm about that life. So, what else did I say? I said, what did I say? Oh, God, I forgot. Ew. So, I said to him, I said, you have a very condescending way of speaking to people. You always got to question somebody else's intelligence. Nobody can know nothing except for you. And I was like, I said, you don't understand what verbal abuse is. I said, you're very verbally abusive. Everything he says is kind of like whatever you saying doesn't matter. That's it. So he's like, oh, that's not verbal abuse. That's not verbal. I said, yes. I said, look up the fucking meaning of verbal abuse. Now he arguing with me about what verbal abuse is. He's like, oh, verbal abuse is when you call somebody out their name. That's not the only way to verbally abuse somebody. And I said to him, I said, sometimes you don't realize that some words hurt more than physically being hit. So he was like, oh, I don't agree with that. I said, you don't agree with it. I agree with that. The fuck? I said, you have to watch what you say. I said, you so worried about your career and this is not. I said, for somebody who's so worried about their career, you sure got a fucking smart mouth. He get into it with every fucking body. Everybody the bouncer at this club he was trying to get into. He got into it with that person. He get into it with his mother. He get into it with his father. He get into it with his fellow employee co-workers. I said, you so worried about your career and not being charged with anything and not getting in trouble because it will affect your job. But your mouth is kind of crazy. I said it's going to get you in something one day. You so worried about it, watch your mouth when you fucking talking to people, because that situation could have easily led to me. He could have said, oh, she attacked me. We would have both been in jail because I could have pressed charges against you too. First off, you in my house, they're going to see your ass. And I can say that, well, he did this and he said that. And I went through a situation that was traumatic and he did this and that made me go. And people would legit have a reason to believe my side. So either way you slice it, it would still put you in hot water, nigga. I said, so he was like, oh, that's understandable, but this is standard. So finally he was like, I truly and I deeply apologize, and I understand that you may still have PTSD from that, and this is standard third. You know he got to bring up some shit. So I said, okay. Like, I ain't say nothing. Oh, I understand you still got PTSD from that. It's not that. Maybe I do. I don't know. But to me, in my head, you said you can understand, or you bring that up as if he had the right to do what he did to me. That says to me that you will possibly do that to me. And that happened. I will kill you. I will kill you. I'm sorry. I will get you before you get me. I will not be in that situation again. No, boo-boo. So, I do not know. I don't know if I want to. I don't. And I know I said all of that, and y'all like, damn. After that, you still don't know if you're gonna cut this nigga off. My thing is, when we're not bumping heads, we are like a glove in a hand, bitch. We just go. But the minute he has too much going on up here that I cannot deal with. And it's either going to be I deal with him and my feelings and my interests go on the back burner, and everything is going to have to be centered around him, or I'm going to have to leave him alone. And I think it's bothering me that I'm going to have to leave him alone because I truly, genuinely like him. Besides what I just told you guys, because I didn't sit there and tell y'all all the good shit. I made sure, but I just wanted to get this off my chest. So that's why I'm telling y'all this. So I don't know. I don't know, y'all. This man is a straight up narcissist. This man, there's no other way to put it. So I beat him up. I kicked him out my house. He so-called apologized. I straight up told him that I'm not apologizing for what I did to him. And I don't regret it. Should I have done it? No. But I don't regret it. And I'll do it again. In fact, I'll do it worse. I told him that too. He tried to make me promise that I would never do that again. I said, I can't promise you that. I said, because you can't promise me that you would never come out your face the way you did. Start that fucking novella singing shit on my fucking window, yo. So that is the fucking Jugo de Coco. The tea. On Dark and Lovely, y'all. I really don't even feel like in this video I really truly got across the point of how egotistical this guy is. Like, I haven't even showed you or told you how egotistical this guy is. Like, you would have to see it in person for you would be like, damn. Like, the definition of a narcissist man, this man is like, somebody should put him in a lab and study him if they want to study a fucking narcissist. Anyways, I gotta take my black ass to therapy, so wish me luck. Deuces.
I'ma make a bowl of cereal with a teaspoon of bleach. Serve it to you like, here you go, nigga, bon appetit.